Fatima, what a pleasure to see you, and congratulations on what you guys are doing. I think everybody in South Africa, even people who don't understand anything to do with science and maths and technology and engineering, they all know that these are the subjects which will get us ahead and which will allow us to participate in the global economy going forward. They'll create jobs. But unfortunately, too many people at school are put off of them for some reason. We've obviously had a really tough year for people because they haven't been at school. And
Yeah.
it's just great that you could join us this morning. So first of all, tell us about you, Fatima. You're a forensic scientist, you're an airline pilot, and you founded this Sakhikamva Foundation. So where do we start? Tell us about how you got to be such an achiever. It's an unbelievable story.
Good morning, Gareth. Good morning, Bolelo, and good morning, Leanne. Thank you
Don't
for
worry
having
about them so much. Just tell us about you.
Good morning once again, and to the viewers and listeners out there. Thank you for having me here today. Well, I started off as a young. Obviously, we start off as a young people always.
Yeah, if you started old, it would have made it that much harder.
Exactly. So it started off with a dream as a child of growing up in Wellington. Anyone who knows where Wellington is, lovely, beautiful town here in the Western Cape. And I had this dream, and I always looked up into the sky, and I thought, that's going to bring me something special one day. And I never thought that I would become a pilot. I never thought I would. I would always tell myself it's impossible. It's not possible. And so I thought, I'll become a doctor. Didn't get into med school, got into chemistry, and Bolelo knows how that course is, right?
I certainly do.
Yeah. Just don't poke the bear. He's going to talk about how clever he is for another half hour. So let's just keep it focused on you. But yes, Fatima, you and Mbulelo and I all share an interest in chemistry.
Oh, fantastic. So got into forensic science after completing my degree in chemistry. Mm-hmm. And then I specialized in toxicology, and then I got into drugs. Narcotic specialist.
Let's just be clear about it. You didn't start taking. Now Leanne is about to say, "Well, that's my area of expertise because I've."
Oh, great! We're all in this conversation together, right? And so I did a drug bust at the airport.
Wow.
And I had this very close colleague of mine, Gareth, and he's always talked about how much he wanted to fly, and I had this poster behind me of a South African Airways 747, and every day we would talk about flying. So we go to the airport, and there I stood in front of a 747, and I just knew, you know what? I might be certifiable if I say this. When I say this now, I thought this airplane was talking to me. It said, "Fatima, come and fly me." I had to answer, so I packed I said bye to drugs, and I packed my bags, and I went to study in Australia.
Well, now that's a horrible end to the story, because Australia is a terrible terminus to which to bring us. But let's just talk about the fact that you've got these things that are, most people do one thing in their life, and maybe they do it well, and there's nothing wrong with only doing one thing. But you're clearly an overachiever because you're a pilot, you're a forensic scientist, you're a chemist. You wanted to be a doctor too. You wanted to do all these things. This interest in science, do you think it's something that you're born with, or do you think it's something that you learnt from being around maybe your family and friends? Maybe there was one person who inspired you to get into science. Because what we'd like to see in South Africa is more people turning into Fatimas who are able to get into a course where they can really learn something and develop and research and perhaps create new business out of it and all kinds of things. Where do you think that interest, that love came from?
I think it comes from a passion, but it also comes from a exposure. So that's why the Sakhikamva Foundation is there, because there is a lack of exposure and opportunity for our young people. We might not think that it's that way, but there's so many possibilities in the world of science that we have to create that opportunity and avenue for kids to explore, to engage, to to tinker and to start innovating and be creative. And creating that opportunity is very important. So yes, it comes from a passion, but it also comes from the exposure and the development that we have, that we get.
Listen, we say, we kind of in passing, we say you're a pilot, but you actually fly for SAA. You fly 747s, the big planes.
I used to. I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 747 and the 340 I flew, and I currently fly the Airbus A320 and 319. Yeah.
So tell us, first of all, the name, the Sakhikamva Foundation. That's Xhosa, right?
That's correct.
What does it mean?
It means building a future.
Okay.
So we want to build a future with the next generation of aviators, scientists, and astronauts. We are raising the Mars generation. I hope we are aware that we're raising the Mars generation. By the year 2030, we want to send the first lot to Mars.
I have a few names I could put down for you that we could send to Mars.
I'll add it to my list.
Yeah. Bulelo Tinta is one of them. So, Fatima, tell me about this event that's taking place, this virtual science event, because this is what people can join in on and they can be a part of. It's happening from the 21st of August until the 4th of September. I assume you can log on from a phone or from a laptop or whatever. Do you need to pay?
Oh no, it's all free. It's all about just joining in and engaging, and the opportunity to engage. So it has been sponsored. So it is free for everyone, and there's a little bit of everything for everyone. Today we are going to join scientists in the US, in Berkeley, in California, and we're going to talk about how to grow plants in space, and how plants grow in space, because there's an experiment called the Exo Lab.
Yes.
So the Exo Lab is a research experiment for students, high school students, to see how plants grow in microgravity. So, and what kind of plants we are going to grow. So the last experiment we did was with legumes, and the plant grew fantastic. And so we look at different conditions: temperature, pressure, and even altitude where we are at. Yeah.
Superb.
Yeah, I mean, truly, like gravity has a huge impact on no gravity.
Exactly.
Which way does the plant grow?
Oh, well, that Einstein comment was from Leanne Moll this morning. Put that down in your notebook.
Did I say that aloud?
You actually said that aloud. Well, imagine if they didn't have gravity. What would they do? They would grow the other way.
No, they won't necessarily grow the other way. Leanne is quite right there.
Leanne, I didn't judge you, just so it's clear. No judgment from my side.
All right, so Fatima, who can come to this event?
Anyone, teachers, kids, parents, anyone who would like to join. People who are curious about what we do. So tomorrow we've got a mathemagic show and a lovely game show with it, and hacking. There's building robots next week, building paper airplanes and flying, learning a bit about flying. So I'm presenting that little workshop for kids. Yeah.
Excellent.
So in other words, no geeks will be present.
No, plenty. All right, so let's just talk about chemistry for a second, because it's rare that I get someone on the show we can talk chemistry with. In all your years in the lab, and not just in forensic laboratories, but in inorganic or organic chemistry laboratories, what are your favorite chemicals and what are your favorite experiments? And you still like doing them even though you've done them a million times?
Oh my word. You know what? The kitchen is my biggest lab, so I love baking.
Oh, okay. All right. There's an unexpected answer. So you like a little bit of the bicarbonate of soda and the cream of tartar.
Exactly.
Okay, I got you.
But if you mix bicarbonate of soda once with which a drug, then you'll get another type of narcotic. So I'm not going to say which. But I still like clean baking.
Okay, yeah. So you're not running a lab. See, no. I have a little laboratory at home, and people assume, and I do inorganic chemistry, so there's nothing, it's all above board. But people assume when they hear about it or when they see it, first thing they say is, you're making illegal narcotics. But I don't know how to do any of that stuff because most of it is organic chemistry.
Yes, exactly. Narcotics is organic, and you're doing inorganic chemistry.
Yeah, and organic chemistry, I can't even get the names right of all the organic chemicals because, as you know, they keep changing the nomenclature. So I don't know whether it's it's now 1,2,3-butyl. It's too complicated.
Isopropyl alcohol.
Yeah, what the hell's that? That's hard work.
Mbalelo is just cracking himself up here.
I am enjoying it.
Yeah, he thinks it's funny. Wait till he comes to visit. I'll show you what potassium chlorate can do, my friend. All right. Well, Fatima, it's a great pleasure to speak to you. Well done on the amazing work that you're doing with the foundation. And I hope there'll be lots of people who will join in these free sessions at your event. Where can we go to find it? What's the easiest way to get on board?
www.sakhikamva.org. I'll spell that.
Please do.
SAKHIKAMVA.org. Just
We'll also put a link in under the podcast today, so it'll make it easier for you to join. And that goes on until the 4th of September. So make sure you get in. They're talking about building apps, designing drones, aviation, robotics. There are 20 inspiring shows and STEM workshops for learners of all different age groups. It'll connect South African children, teachers, and parents to the global science community. And the woman behind it is here with us this morning. So thank you so much, Fatima Jakoet. It's a great pleasure to see you.
Thank you very much.
You're the best.
Yeah.
You are the best.
Okay.
Yeah, you're doing God's work. This is great.
You.
Yeah, massively important. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.